Ghana Health Service set to undertake vaccination of girls aged between 9 and 14 after receiving first batch of HPV vaccines.
Also tonight, with government trumpeting some successes in the fight against illegal mining, calls grow for prosecution of politicians engaged in the mining.
On the international front, Israel says it has attacked dozens of military targets in southwestern Iran as the conflict enters its 9th day. We always love to hear from you, so be part of the show and be part of the many stories we have for you tonight.
We are starting with a rather unfortunate news because 2 elderly persons who were among 5 others trapped in a story building located at London Bridge in Cape Coast that collapsed after hours of heavy downpour on Saturday morning have been confirmed dead. Correspondent Thomas Khan visited the scene and has filed this report.
According to residents, the rains began before 4 a.m. and continued until about 11 a.m., causing floods in some parts of Cape Coast. The downpour affected several buildings, especially those that were old and dilapidated. One of the affected buildings is located at London Bridge, a suburb in the heart of Cape Coast. 5 people were reported trapped at the time of the collapse. An eyewitness, Mami Efuya, shared the following with the news team.
5:30 in the moon day. Bibi, I the huntsman, I groom.
Around 5:30 a.m., we realized that the building has collapsed and people were fleeing. They told us that there are 3 more people in the house who couldn't escape, so the fire service later intervened.
The mayor of Cape Coast, George Justice Arthur, said the various security agencies dispatched to the scene did an excellent job containing the situation.
I came, the place was fully flooded, the house was fully flooded, and people wanted to even take the water out. No sooner had I left, then I had a call from the people within the community that the very place that I came, that place is collapsed. 3 of them are surviving now as at now speaking with you. And they are all at Ewim Hospital, receiving treatment. And 2 are old man and woman who are no more. They are all dead. After they retrieve them, they are gone.
He spoke about measures the assembly plans to take regarding other dilapidated structures in the city.
We have also identified some areas where they are all in a dilapidated state, and we are going to make sure we demolish all of them today. We will make sure that we fight this holistically so that every dilapidated building within Cape Coast that might get collapsed, we will rather demolish it before it gets collapsed.
Deputy Regional Public Relations Officer for the Ghana National Fire Service, Ado Ebenezer Dazi, cautioned developers against using inferior materials and advised them to secure the proper permits from authorities before construction.
We always advise the public that before they put up a building, they need to seek permits from the assembly and that of the Ghana National Fire Service as well. We need to advise them on their building plans so that we will know that exactly what is on the plan is exactly what is going to be on grounds. But mostly people don't do it like that, and then they also purchase inferior goods in putting up this building. So we advise that we need to employ qualified technicians, qualified engineers, wherever we are building, so that they put up the building for us.
The Central Regional Director of NADMO, Kwesi Dawood, said investigations into the collapse have begun while assessments are underway to provide necessary support to the affected victims.
We will take extensive assessment. The assessment will enable us to know the number of victims, their statistics, and based on the statistics, report will be sent to the regional headquarters for onward processing. Based on the report, we'll be able to know the needs of the victims and what needs to be given to them accordingly.
Meanwhile, city authorities, together with security agencies, have begun cordoning off other buildings that have developed cracks and pose threat, earmarking them for immediate demolition.
Very unfortunate story there. Now, illegal mining, popularly known as Galamsey, is worsening across the country, leaving trails of environmental destruction. Despite government intervention, civil society organizations campaigning against illegal mining say the fight lacks seriousness and political will, calling for prosecution of influential figures behind the scene.
Havoc, leaving water bodies polluted and forest reserves depleted. This is despite ongoing campaigns to curb the practice. The Ghana Coalition Against Galamsey on Thursday, June 19, at a media engagement, expressed deep concern over what it describes as inadequate efforts by government in tackling the growing menace of illegal mining, popularly known as Galamsey. As part of the renewed efforts to hold government accountable, the Coalition Against Galamsey is demanding the investigation and prosecution of politically exposed persons suspected to be involved in or facilitating illegal mining activities. Engineer Dr. Kenneth Ashibe is convener of the coalition.
We will not accept an amendment that responds to the interests of certain individuals, not taking into account the interests of the nation. The LI 2462 must be revoked, and it's with urgency. The Kumferi confrontation, where the police allegedly shielded Chinese nationals engaged in Galamsey, a disgrace to the entire national security apparatus. We demand an immediate and transparent investigation.
Briefing Parliament on Friday, June 20, Land and Natural Resources Minister Emmanuel Ama Kofi-Boa said government is rigorously engaged in the reclamation and revegetation of illegally mined out areas.
The following forest reserves, which were red zones, have been reclaimed: Jemira and Jemira Extension, Afao Hills Forest Reserve, Tano Amia Forest Reserve, Ofin Shelter Belt Forest Reserve, Amiasu East Forest Reserve, Ashuansu South Forest Reserve, Subri Forest Reserve, and Asinayo Forest Reserve. The Ministry and the Forest Commission were able to recover this reserve through a collaborative effort with the Ghana Armed Forces and the Ghana Police. Efforts are still ongoing to take over the last reserve.
Chinese nationals have often been arrested in raids for engaging in illegal mining. But for the Chinese ambassador to Ghana, Tong Defa, illegal mining in Ghana did not originate from China. He added that Chinese nationals are often migrant workers brought in by Ghanaians.
The issue is not originated from Chinese. I mean, you can see those mining, Chinese people cannot get the license, cannot get the permit. It's the Ghanaian people who draw Chinese people over here, and some of those people who are even caught red-handed, even though they are caught red-handed, they are just, they're just some like migrant workers to come here to make a living.
Speaking on the key points, CEO of the Shippers Authority, Professor Rantford Jampu, said that despite ongoing efforts to resolve Galamsey, the menace keeps festering.
The more they are fashioning out initiatives, the more the thing is festering. And also that there are some party kingpins who are involved in the menace, and now they have started fighting the minister, and they have started fighting even the IGP. They are doing what they can, but the problem still festers, and we are told that it's even getting worse.
A political scientist at the University of Ghana, Dr. Joshua Zato, noted that the president has failed to declare a state of emergency to deal with the menace.
The Ghana Catholic Bishop Conference have gone to meet him to say, Mr. President, repeal, not amend the LI. He has not listened to them. Prof is saying he and the coalition, they've also gone to meet him. And they've all told him that, Mr. President, repeal the LI. He's not doing that. Declare a state of emergency, he's not doing it. So it becomes difficult to reconcile those two narratives. Okay. So if he's a listening president, what kind of listening president is he? Because the people that matter says, this is what will cure. You've not listened. You don't listen. So there's the rhetoric that he's a listening president, and then there's the reality that he's not.
The devastating effect of illegal mining on the environment, economy, and public health cannot be glossed over. The fight against Galamsey must go beyond rhetoric and result in real accountability, strict enforcement, and a unified national response. Only then can we as a country secure our national resources in safeguarding the future for the next generation.
Away from illegal mining issues, this year's National Service Scheme rollout is taking a new turn, introducing a voluntary 6-week basic military training program for prospective service personnel. The pilot initiative will be rolled out in collaboration with the Ministry of Defense. Deborah Abba-Mensah reports that the move has generated mixed reactions from final year university students and current service personnel.
With just a few months to the start of the next national service year, the National Service Authority is piloting a 6-week voluntary military training program for prospective personnel. The scheme, in partnership with the Ministry of Defense, aims to instill discipline, patriotism and resilience among the youth. The idea was first announced by the President, John Dramani Mahama, during the State of the Nation address.
We will introduce short military training as part of our national service scheme.
This was later emphasized by the Director General of the National Service Authority, Felix Jenfi.
Where else can we get discipline for our young people who are going into the world of work? The military. So this year, National Service, in collaboration with the Ghana Armed Forces, the Ministry of Defense, the President, who is also the Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, make sure that all service persons that will be enrolled to do national service this year will be mandatory do at least a 6 weeks military training.
Initially proposed as a mandatory program, it has now been restructured into a voluntary pilot. However, not everyone is convinced by the idea. Some level 400 students and soon-to-be service personnel have raised concerns, citing timing, personal interest, and lack of clarity on benefits of participating.
For the current outgoing students, I heard it's voluntary participation, and I think that is fine. But for the subsequent batches that will come after that, if it's going to be mandatory, I think the government can look at it in a different way. So it's also voluntary participation. And I think it will be relevant for the people who want to end up in the security field. But for other people who are not going to be in such positions, I think it should be voluntary. And if the government's reason for wanting to have this kind of thing put in place is to instill discipline, I think they can look at other ways to instill discipline into the youth.
I would say no. We have a lot of people who are disabled. They have disability issues. So making this military service mandatory for them wouldn't help at all. I'll consider my height, because some people laugh a lot about those in the military who are short. Yeah, so nah.
I do not really have interest in that, to be in the military. And one thing that I have learned in life is that something that you have passion for, you're able to do it well. So I believe there are a lot of people out there who would genuinely want to be in the military. So I think such opportunities and such slots should be given to them. Because if the government has the ability to cater for the masses who will be going to the military for national service, and I think it will be able to cater for all those who genuinely have interest in that.
Personally, I think I don't have the physical stamina to be involved in such a thing, and also it's not really something that I've ever seen myself in.
But others, particularly those already undergoing their national service, say they wish such opportunity had been available earlier.
I would have 100% given it my all. I would have volunteered for the program, because I feel it would actually help me as a human being in the society, make valuable contribution in the society.
Authorities say the pilot program is also expected to help build civic responsibility and enhance youth involvement in national security, especially amid growing security threats in sub-region. As the debate continues, the National Service Authority says participation is entirely voluntary, and feedback from this pilot will shape the future of the program. For now, prospective national service personnel have a choice to embrace the drill or not. What remains to be seen is how many will sign up.
Well, going back to our earlier story where two elderly people who are among 5 others trapped in a story building in Cape Coast have passed away after hours of downpour. We are going to speak to Justice George Atta. He is MCE for Cape Coast. Good evening, Sam. Thank you for joining us on News 360.
Good evening, TV3, and my pleasure to have me.
Mr. Atta, can you tell us what the current situation is?
For now, we are trying to demolish all the dilapidated buildings around the place. So this is the current situation. And those who were able to survive are also at the hospital responding to treatment. 2 of them couldn't survive. One old man and one old lady.
So how many people have been rescued so far?
Come again.
How many people have been rescued so far from the story building?
They were 5. They were 5, and 3 of them, all of them were rescued. Only 3 were able to survive. And they are at the hospital currently receiving treatment. Then 2 of them couldn't survive.
How about those that lost their lives, the 2 elderly people? Have we been able to identify them and then also talk to their families?
Yes, I've been with their family throughout the day. I've also been to the hospital and I've actually interacted with them. I also need to make sure that whatever amount of money they will spend at the hospital, I take care of it as a mayor of Cape Coast. So I'm still talking to them. Probably Monday, I've also directed the family to come to my office for 1 or 2 money to ensure they live all right.
You spoke about the demolition of some dilapidated buildings there, but we know that Cape Coast has a lot of those buildings. Are you saying you are going to be removing all of those buildings?
Yes, those ones, in fact, NADMO, in collaboration with the Building Inspectorate for CCMA, have been able to go around today to identify some of those dilapidated buildings. So we are going to do that. We have spoken to the family and those around that they should prepare themselves for the demolition exercise tomorrow. So we have been able to demolish about 2 of them, and we have about 3 of them to be done tomorrow morning. And they are ready. They have actually accepted that we should demolish those buildings. We are here to find the rest and talk to the family and make sure this disaster will not occur again. I mean, it's a black Saturday for the people of Cape Coast. We don't want it to happen again.
Right, Mr. Atta. We'll be keeping an eye on that one as well. And condolences to you and the family of the deceased. George, Justice Atta is MC for Cape Coast.
Now, the Executive Director of the Africa Center for Parliamentary Affairs, Dr. Rashid Rahman, has called for reconstitution of the Privileges Committee with non-parliamentary members. This, he says, is intended to check legislators who misconduct themselves to be properly sanctioned by an independent body following recent acts of indiscipline in Parliament.
Shakespeare's lesson on authority, re-echoed by Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin, to legislators after an apparent blatant disregard of the first Deputy Speaker by Member of Parliament for Asiedu-Dartey, Dr. Ayisha, during sitting on Tuesday, June 10. The MP sought to make a statement regarding the ongoing nurses' strike, although it had not been approved as part of the agenda. An obviously infuriated First Deputy Speaker ordered the Marshal to escort Dr. Efrie out, but he was shielded by equally enraged minority members who protested the order. Proceedings came to a halt without the marshal executing the order. Acts like this have been common in Parliament lately, and the 9th Parliament is not new to such incidents. In January 2025, members of the House clashed during ministerial vetting, leading to the destruction of property. The Speaker of Parliament suspended 3 members of Parliament, but were later reinstated. In February, chaos erupted in Parliament when a loud male voice from the minority backbench labelled MP for Clotte-Korle, Dr. Zaneto Rollins, as a daughter of a murderer.
Daughter of murderer, sit down! Daughter of murderer, sit down!
Reports of investigations conducted into the matter and subsequent punishments are yet to be made public, although some 3 MPs have been cited. In October 2024, Deputy Speaker of Parliament was forced to indefinitely suspend proceedings following disruptions by members over which party held the parliamentary majority. In the 8th Parliament, during a debate over the controversial electronic transaction levy, e-levy, a brawl broke out among MPs as the House attempted to vote on the matter. One act that cuts deep was the election of a new speaker, resulting in the snatching of a ballot box. Executive Director of the African Center for Parliamentary Affairs, Dr. Rashid Rahman, says the failure of the House of Legislature to instill discipline and hold themselves to adhere to the rules is degrading the House.
Perhaps we are at a point where we might need to start thinking about, maybe a committee like this, taken out of Parliament and given to eminent Ghanaians, so that, when things like this happen, from absenteeism to misconduct and violation of all the immunities and privileges that they have, then we don't leave it in their own hands.
He, however, avers that some rules will have to be amended to improve democracy in the country.
We need to allow or begin to think about a situation where, urgent questions, for instance, don't necessarily have to be admitted before a member can rise on the floor and make a statement, because if there's a crisis in our country and members want to express their views, the rules say the question or the statement has to be admitted before you can do that. For me, it stifles democratic discourse.
Clearly, Parliament has an onerous responsibility, and the time to abide by the words of their oath is now. Lodi Rasari, TV3 News, Accra.
New Patriotic Party 2028 flag bearer hopeful Kennedy Ayisha is questioning the party's decision to rush into organizing primaries for the flag bearer position. Judith Brown has the rest of the story.
28 MPP flag bearer hopeful Kennedy Ayisha is calling on the party to first diagnose the reasons behind their 2024 electoral defeat before proceeding with the next primaries to elect a flag bearer.
Those who matter in the party that have to know the causes of our defeat. We don't. If you don't solve those problems, you can bring Jesus Christ as your presidential candidate. Even from today, we're still not going to make it. I'll tell you the truth. Because all of us here that are going to campaign, what message are we going to give? We don't know the causes of our defeat.
According to him, the party's system in itself is not problematic. He, however, blames the party's woes on what he refers to as monsters of the party.
If you want us to tell you the truth, there is nothing wrong with the system that we have. Why you find something wrong with it is that you like it, you take it. If you don't like it, so be it. It's because we created monsters in the party. There's nothing wrong with the system that we have. Because we created monsters in the party and allowed them to take decisions anyhow.
He's calling on party members and executives to do what is right.
For the sake of the party, we have to be careful the decisions we take. Today is Japan. You are happy with me. Tomorrow is going to be you. And you use it against.
Kennedy Japan's comments highlights the internal challenges facing the main opposition MPP as it navigates its 2024 post-election defeat. Some analysts believe that the party's defeat was due to a combination of factors including corruption, incompetence, and poor governance. As the party prepares for its primaries, it remains to be seen how this issue will be resolved. Judith Brown, TV3 News.
There are a lot more interesting days ahead in the camp of the NPP. Trust your election command center to keep you in the loop as they play and unfold before us. On to some other stories now. And there is a growing trend in Accra's markets where vendors are rejecting small denomination coins and the 1 cedi note as illegal tender. Judith Brown interacted with some vendors and reports.
Ghana introduced the 10 and 20 peso coins as part of the redenomination of the cedi in 2007. Years later, these coins seem to have fallen out of use in everyday transactions. Market women and vendors in Accra's markets are deliberately rejecting 10 and 20 peso coins as well as the 1 cedi note. The reasons for rejection vary. Some vendors claim that the coins are too small and inconvenient to handle, whilst others say the 1 cedi note is prone to tearing and therefore not acceptable. And for customers and traders alike, the rejection is causing difficulties.
Sachet water sellers have refused to take the coins. I don't understand why. They say it will get missing. They don't take the coins, although the government hasn't prohibited it.
Some vendors say they have accumulated large amounts of these coins, which they cannot use due to the widespread rejection.
Even children don't take the coins. They even reject the 1 cedi note, surprisingly.
The rejection of these coins is also affecting prices. Traders are adding 50 pesos and over to the prices of goods, especially water, causing prices to remain on the high side.
Prices have gone up because vendors add 50 pesos and above for profits.
20 pesos,
We the sachet water sellers take the money, but others don't. I have 20 pesos coins amounting to 20 cedis on me, and I can't even spend it.
The situation is, however, not new. You would recall the 1 peso coin was phased out due to rejection on the market. Until today, it remains unused. For some vendors, government must intervene to ensure these coins do not phase out.
It's a problem and the law must work.
But what does the law say? Private legal practitioner Christian Malm Hesse explains that the law prohibits rejection of the legal tender.
Under no uncertain terms can a person within the territorial jurisdiction of Ghana decide not to accept it, from the highest denomination to the lowest pesos. Indeed, the law prescribes it as an offense, either imprisonment or you pay a fine, or both. The policy of the law also requires that Bank of Ghana should also carry out market surveys to see to whether or not the coins, they make currency value, so that if they do not, then the minting of them is also cost to the state.
Until drastic measures are taken, the 10 and 20 peso coins, as well as the 1 cedi note, remain on the brink of extinction. Judith Brown, TV3 News.
This is still News 360 on TV3. Stay with us. We'll be back with more.
Thank you for staying with us. Let's now do some health-related issues. Cervical cancer remains one of the biggest threats to women's health in Ghana, but that could soon change. The country has just received its first batch of HPV vaccines, setting the stage for a major nationwide campaign to protect girls against the deadly disease. Safwa Boahin has the details.
Cervical cancer is the second most common cancer among women in Ghana and one of the deadliest. In 2020, an estimated 1,700 deaths occurred, with nearly 2,800 new cases recorded. In a major step towards preventing cervical cancer and protecting the health of girls and women, the arrival of the human papillomavirus vaccine in the country can be a game changer.
Launch the campaign for the rollout of HPV vaccine, which will happen in September. And then the Ministry of Health will be responsible to launch that activity itself. What we are doing today is to try to get every Ghanaian at all corners, everywhere in Ghana, to support us so that together we can put cervical cancer as something of the past.
For years, health experts have waited for this moment.
We've found that about 70% of sexually active individuals carry this virus, and so it gets passed on through unprotected sex that rapidly. So the news of this vaccine, it's more than welcome. We as a society are very delighted that the talk is now materializing into action. The only caution and concern we have is sustainability. We have the hope that in the future we can even extend this to boys.
As the service leading this charge, the Ghana Health Service has rolled out a plan for the vaccine enrollment. Thousands of girls aged 9 to 14 will be vaccinated in schools and communities across the country.
This vaccination is going to start with a campaign. So we're having a 5-day campaign in September. We're yet to set the dates that we're going to target mainly in-school children 9 to 14 years. Ghana Education Service will go in and pre-register them. We go in and then we go and vaccinate the children. After that, we are intending to have a period of catch-up where 9 to 14 years again, you can still take the vaccine, but this will be done in the public facilities that offer the general immunization services. We have received 2 tranches of vaccine. We're expecting 5. By the end of this month, we should have received it all. We are starting with the women. As time goes along, we have plans to expand to make it, in quote, gender neutral, so boys and girls.
To reach these girls, the Ghana Health Service is teaming up with the Ghana Education Service, taking the campaign straight into classrooms.
We are going to do intensive education in the schools using our teachers, using our district offices, and then the children themselves. We are going to work in collaboration with Ghana Health Service to develop SBCC materials that will be used in the education of the children as well. We will also collaborate with the Ghana Health Service in the form of supporting the teams that will be visiting the schools. Our PTAs will be duly informed, and we are going to make ourselves available.
UNICEF, which facilitated the arrival of the first tranche, is hopeful the initiative will close the health gap for girls.
Ghana has struck a significant milestone with the first batch of 2.5 million HPV vaccines that are expected to be used for immunization campaign, giving opportunity for these young girls, 9 to 14 years, to have access to this vaccine is a way to help these young girls from acquiring cervical cancer.
For many girls, this vaccine is more than just medicine. It is protection. Protection from a disease that has claimed far too many lives too soon. As Ghana prepares to roll out the HPV vaccination campaign, the message is clear. Prevention is possible, and every girl deserves that chance. Safwa Boahin, TV3 News, Accra.
Two other social stories. The maternity theatre at the St. Theresa's Hospital in Nandom has been closed down due to a non-functioning anesthesia machine significantly impacting maternity healthcare services in the area. Correspondent Ibrahim Wangara visited the facility and has come through with his report.
The St. Theresa's Hospital serves as a key referral facility in Nandom and surrounding districts. The hospital is facing critical logistical challenges in newborn and maternal care that has led to the shutdown of its maternity theater. With the maternity theater out of operation due to a faulty anesthesia machine, doctors are now compelled to conduct surgeries in the general surgical theater. This has led to delays and congestion affecting the timely care of both emergency and routine cases. The medical superintendent of the hospital, Dr. Sebastian Yidana, expressed concern.
As it stands, the hospital operates only one theater. One theater for all maternal cases. We get orthopedic surgeons coming in, we get ophthalmologists coming in. All of us are operating that. But the maternity theater, which has been non-functional because of the absence of an anesthesia machine, if it is made functional, will really improve care for mothers and newborns.
Beyond the logistical issues within the theater, infrastructure challenges in the maternity wing further complicate the delivery of care. The neonatal intensive care unit, NICU, is located far from the maternity ward. This separation creates significant risks, especially during adverse weather conditions. When newborns need to be transferred urgently to the NICU, hospital staff must carry them across open areas, exposing them to the vagaries of the weather.
But the NICU as we have now was basically a room that we just had to make do with to take care of the babies. Walking all the way from maternity to the NICU, especially this rainy season, there are difficulties because when it's raining and you need to send this baby to the NICU, it becomes a big problem. So we think that a befitting NICU next to the maternity, where you can have that linkage of care.
The situation underscores the urgent need for government intervention. Repairs and replacement of the anesthesia machine, along with the infrastructure improvements, are essential to restoring quality maternal and neonatal health care at the St. Teresa's Hospital. Ibrahim Wangara, TV3 News, Nandon.
Hundreds of children aged 3 to 5 in the Agoti-Meziope district of the Volta region lack access to early childhood education due to the absence of educational facilities in their community. Volta regional correspondent Faisal Abdul Idrisu has more in the following report.
In Ghana, children, mostly between the ages of 2 to 5 years, are expected to be in preschool. The situation is, however, different in Adokpakope, as hundreds of children in this age bracket remain at home due to the lack of educational facilities. I have 2 children. The older one is able to walk to school in the next community, but the younger one is always here with me because she can't walk the distance. It is worrying. If there was a school here, I could drop my son in there and go out there to get some work to do. But there is no school here. A child has to be at least 7 years to be able to walk to school in the next community. And so they are always stuck with us here. Rather than being in school, these children are often seen on the farms with their parents. Without preschool, their academic growth becomes a bit difficult. These ones here are talking. If you ask them questions, they are able to answer. When they see the older ones walking to school at Agbesia, they begin to cry because they want to follow them. But because they can't walk the distance, we take them to farm anytime we are going. The situation remains an age-old problem in this community. We couldn't progress academically because of the distance from here to Agbesia, where the school is. It was so tiring, so we dropped out one after the other. And today, our children are still going through the same problem. It is Monday morning. The news team came across these children from Adokpakope, walking a distance of over 3 kilometers to Agbesia, the closest community with a school.
We walk 1 hour distance from our village to the school. Is that why when you get to the classroom, you are tired, so we are sleeping. Some of our friends also going, but they stop on the way. Our younger ones also stop because of the distance.
A 2-unit classroom block project started in the community by the Member of Parliament for the area has stalled due to lack of funding. Early childhood education is considered a crucial foundation that supports the cognitive, social, and emotional skills of children and help prepare them for formal education.
It's not the right foundation for the child to build on when he gets to primary school or at the later years of his education. You know, at the early childhood school, we take learners through pre-learning activities, pre-writing, pre-reading, and everything before the child starts schools. So when the child didn't go through that stage, there's that gap for the child. So closing that gap at the primary level is very, very difficult.
According to a 2021 data from the Ghana Statistical Services, nearly 31,000 children of school-going age in the Volta region have never attended school for various reasons, including lack of accessibility, with an overreaching impact on the literacy status of children, particularly those in rural communities.
The provision of educational infrastructure, particularly classroom blocks, is the first and foremost step to the realization of the Sustainable Development Goal 4. The situation here at Adokpakopa is not only an impediment to the realization of this goal, but also to the educational aspirations of these young children, requiring an immediate action and response from government. Faisal Abdul Idrisu, TV3 News, Adokpakopa.
The National Union of Tricycle Operators of Ghana has been preparing its members ahead of the impending legislation of motorbike and tricycle use. The union in the Bono East region has launched a comprehensive sensitization program for its members. Correspondent correspondent Belinda Tete reports.
For years, tricycle operators have largely existed in an unregulated space, raising concerns about safety and rider conduct. Following stakeholder consultations in the transport sector, the Ministry of Transport has decided to amend existing legislation and reduce the permissible age limit for Okada riders from 25 to 21 years. This move aligns with NDC's electioneering campaign promises. The impending legalization will demand a higher level of professionalism and a stricter adherence to road traffic regulations. Across the country, unions have begun sensitizing their members in preparation for the eventual legalization. In the Bono East region, the National Union of Tricycle Operators in Ghana has also educated its members.
So we are telling our boys, those of them who are into drug abuse and those who are driving recklessly, to ensure that we get these people out of the system. So we are placing the responsibility on the regional leadership down to the station leadership to ensure that when you are in a station and somebody comes to ride tricycle and he is underage, we should all police the work to ensure that we safeguard it for us to become more attractive for the entire Ghanaian community.
We are also educating our people, especially on personal hygiene and also the public perception about our riders, that most of them are engaging in this drug and other things, probably known as red. They have mandated their station masters to also ensure that if any rider comes to the station and they observe that this person is on drug, they have to seize the machine and also report or take the machine to the nearby police station in order to eradicate the only few people among the majority that is tarnishing our image.
Riders have expressed their appreciation, recognizing that a more professional approach will ultimately benefit their livelihoods and improve their conduct on the roads.
This engagement is bringing everything to bear or to light. Don't listen to anybody. They don't respect overspeeding, unnecessary overtaking, and those things is the stuff they are in. And so bringing this in on board, it is something that is going to help.
We are very happy about the impending legalization because operating illegally is actually a problem for us. The legalization will require motorcycle and tricycle riders to affiliate with unions before registering their bikes. This measure will help authorities more easily track and address any criminal activities linked to the industry.
To some more news this evening, global electronics brand TLC has launched its latest range of products in Ghana as part of efforts to expand in West Africa. At a high-profile event, the company highlighted its focus on innovation, sustainability, and strong after-sales support, while reaffirming its commitment to meeting the needs of Ghanaian consumers.
TCL's newest products lineup has officially arrived in Ghana, and the products are designed with Ghanaians in mind. From high-efficiency smart TVs to home appliances built for local conditions, the launch is more than just a product release. It is a promise for quality, affordability, and innovation. TCL is not just focused on products, it is building ecosystems. From robust after-sales support and warranties to partnership with local distributors, the brand is laying down strong roots. General Manager of TCL, Sunny Ray, says they have a wide range of products tailored towards the needs of Ghanaians.
We would like to first provide the high quality and valuable product to our consumers. So we would like to provide, the excellent and the right range of product to Ghana consumers. At the same time, we would like to grab the positive market share.
Director of Sales for West Africa, Daniel Ray, noted the relevance of the launch in Ghana.
We have very good partner in Ghana now. So, and Ghana is one of the most important countries in West Africa. So we choose Ghana as the first start for the launch event.
The managing director of EGO stated that the new products provide the best and latest in technology.
We're always up to date with the latest technology. Whenever they do a launching globally, we immediately follow within less than a month to launch it here locally. And today you will see a huge range of electronics that is latest technology in all categories.
With plans to roll out AI-powered solutions, smart home devices, and potential collaborations with Ghanaian tech institutions, TCL is not only delivering products for today, but also shaping the future of tech in Africa.
This is News 360. It's now time to bring you some sports news.
Sports segment is brought to you by Sasso Insecticide Spray and Coil.
Time now for sports on News 360. Now, Lawrence Ejekum, over the last few months, has become a crucial part of Cecil Brugge's success and recently featured for the Black Stars, where he scored on his debut. In an exclusive interview with Salzburg forward, my colleague Murtala Mohammed explores his inspiration and eventual stint with the national team.
The path to becoming a professional footballer is never easy. Many talented Ghanaian players of opportunities. But for those who persevere with determination and resilience, the reward can be remarkable, and Lawrence Agyekum is a prime example. Born and raised in Ashaman, Agyekum rose through the ranks at the West Africa Football Academy, WAFA, where he laid the foundation for his professional career.
Yeah, it started when we went for a tournament in Austria, Salzburg, in 2018, and then we won the tournament. So from that tournament, there were a lot of people watching, a lot of scouts, and then we went for another tournament in Côte d'Ivoire, Tida, and then we took the 3rd position. And from that tournament, I got promoted to the first team.
He secured a move to Austrian giant Red Bull Salzburg, but was first sent on loan to their feeder side, FC Lefren. His steady development earned him a loan spell at Belgium side, Cercle Brugge. In just one season, Agyekum impressed the club's management enough to land a permanent 4-year deal, a testament to his growth and impact.
Yeah, their project was a good one for me, so I had to choose. The playing time, and it's a good one because I've really worked so hard to gain that contract, so I think it's a well-deserved one for me.
At just 21, the midfielder already has 3 caps for the Black Stars. He marked a special milestone by scoring his debut goal in Ghana's win over Trinidad and Tobago in the Unity Camp, a moment he describes as a dream come true.
I did have a dream. I had a dream that I scored my first national goal, I think before the Unity Cup collab. So for me, I was looking forward to scoring against Nigeria. My mom is Nigerian, so I just wanted to torment her a little bit, but it didn't happen. And then against Trinidad, fortunately for me, I did score, and then I was really happy that the dream came true.
From humble beginnings in Ashaman to the European stage, Lawrence Agyekum's journey is a story of grit, talent, and unyielding perseverance, and he's only just getting started.
That's it for sports. Time now for international news.
Israel says it has attacked dozens of military targets in southwest Iran as the conflict enters its 9th day. Iranian media reports an emergency center in the Kazakhstan province was targeted, with a university saying it had been completely destroyed. The UN's nuclear watchdog says Israel struck an Iranian nuclear plant in Isfahan. Israel's military said they killed Iranian commander Ayisha in a targeted attack overnight. Earlier, Iran's foreign minister said U.S. involvement in the Israel-Iran conflict would be very, very dangerous. Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian says his country will not stop its nuclear activity nor give up its right to pursue a civilian nuclear program, according to the country's official IRNA news agency. Pakistan has announced it plans to nominate U.S. President Donald Trump for a Nobel Peace Prize, citing the role that Islamabad says he played in helping to negotiate a ceasefire last month between India and Pakistan. On X, the Pakistani government said Trump deserved the award in recognition of his decisive diplomatic intervention and pivotal leadership during the recent India-Pakistan crisis. India has denied the U.S. served as a mediator to end the 4-day of fighting last month and says it does not want any diplomatic intervention from a third party. Trump has often suggested he should receive the Nobel Peace Prize, whose winner will be named in October. A suspected female suicide bomber killed at least 12 people and injured several others at a fish market on Friday night in Nigeria's northeastern Borno State, police said on Saturday. Borno State Police spokesperson Nuhum Kenneth Dasso said in a statement that a woman with an improvised explosive device strapped to her body infiltrated a crowd at the fish market before detonating it among civilians. Local residents said at least 30 people were injured. Borno State in the heartland of an insurgency, primarily driven by the Islamist armed group Boko Haram, that has been raging for the past 16 years, killing thousands and displacing at least 2 million people according to aid agencies. The Democratic Republic of Congo has extended by 3 months a ban on exports of cobalt intended to curb oversupply of the electric vehicle battery material. The world's top cobalt supply imposed a 4-month suspension on exports in February after prices had hit a 9-year low at just $10 a pound. The ban was due to expire on Sunday.
And that's it for our package this evening. Thank you so much for watching. I am Martin Asiedu-Dartey.
And I am Ayisha Yakubu. Good evening.